Hello YouTube, D-Decken here, and with the second half of the World Championship qualifier starting in Duel Links, what better way to celebrate than with free stuff? Yes, that's right, the World Championship Celebration Pick a Gift campaign has begun, which is a bit of a mouthful to say. Now the way this event works is every day when you log in, you get to choose between 1 of 3 different items. You keep one of those items, and the other 2 are discarded. You don't get them. So choose wisely. It's very simple. Now, every time this event comes back around, I always like making a video talking about the event and more or less comparing it to the last event. Now, the major thing to note about this event is that the layout for the rewards is the exact same as the last event, which the layout has changed about every other event, so it begs the reason whether or not the next Pick a Gift campaign that comes around will have the same layout, or it might be different. If it does have the same layout, then chances are this may be the layout that they will go with for every Pick a Gift campaign. If it does change, then obviously they're going to keep experimenting with the event. They're going to keep changing things around and seeing what people go with. In other words, now honestly, because there isn't a whole lot of changes, and usually I spent a good chunk of the video just talking about each individual item, comparing it to the others. Instead, I just want to focus on some of the changes that are with this event, which is mainly with the card choices. Now, personally speaking, even though there are 4 cards to choose from, I'm a little 50-50 on each one of them. On day 2, there's Double Attack. Now, this is this is Double Attack's 3rd time being in a Pick a Gift campaign. So, showing it up one more time is kind of annoying and kind of repetitive. Personally, it's a decent card, which you discard a monster from your hand to let a monster with a lower level attack twice. There are obviously some OTK potentials and different scenarios in which you can take advantage of the card you just discarded, but honestly, I don't really see a point of having a playset unless you want to playset this card. If you already have like 1 or 2 copies, I think that might be enough. Honestly, you can correct me in the comments if you think otherwise, but again, personally speaking, I think the 200 rare jewels is a little bit more of a better offer. Personally, though, on days 2 and 6, I really wish those were glossy rare tickets. Now, granted, these rare tickets are mainly based on the character card drops and the card shop, but in that case, I still really wish they were glossy. That way, people who don't want to go through the process of getting a card from the card shop and then converting it into a glossy card, they can just get a glossy card shop card right there. I think that'd be a little bit more of a tempting offer than just a regular rare ticket. I don't know, that's kind of just my opinion. But overall though, I do think 200 rare orbs would be a better offer versus a glossy rare ticket. But again, the point of this kind of event is meant to sway people into picking one item over the other, see what they would go with. So if you have a glossy rare ticket, it might provoke people, not provoke, it might tempt people to picking that item over the other 2 items, but I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. As for day 4, this is Teresa's 2nd time around in a Pick a Gift campaign, but the last time she was in a Pick a Gift campaign, which was the Spring Surprise in the middle of March, she was offered twice during that event, so you already had a chance of getting 2 of her. Plus, in addition, with her and Double Tack, they've both started appearing in card tickets. So if you already have 2 or 3 copies of Teresa, you may not be interested in getting her a third or 4th time for this event, and instead you might want to go with the gems. But if you only have 1 copy like I do, and you might want a 2nd copy, this is a good opportunity getting that 2nd copy. Especially since I believe I saw a Slifer farming deck that made use of 2 of her, so I'm not sure if a 3rd copy would improve the deck's odds, or just if there is some crazy deck out there that takes advantage of her, that might have a better she's a good card, in other words. Especially since tail level 45 is offering Miraculous Descent, which revives a banished fairy, which you can banish her with cards from the sky, and draw 2, then set Miraculous... I can't talk. I'm trying to talk. I know what I'm trying to say. I'm going to stop saying it because I'm going to keep messing up. Any case, going on to days 6 and 8. Days 6 and 8, the cards on there are Heavy Slump and Eternal Rest, which are basically recycled from the duel-a-thon that's currently going on right now. In other words, this is an opportunity to get a 2nd copy of these 2 cards, which, again, I'm still a little bit 50-50 on. When it comes to Heavy Slump, the first thing I think of is, Dual Standby Cup of Ace, which would put your opponent's starting hand at 7. You set it, end of turn, they draw their 8th card, you activate it, you put their cards back in the deck, and they make them draw 2. In other words, you kind of have a sort of a 5-card start versus their 2-card start, which isn't exactly which I really hope people don't start doing it, but that's just the first thing I can think of. The only other thing I can think of is maybe like a random extra deck that just had 6 cards and then they went to 8 cards and then you just use it there, but that is extremely situational, so I can't see that being something to do. I don't know, like, other than Dual Standby, is there any other deck can this card be used in? That's just, I don't know. It's very gimmicky, but I can see the use for it. As for Eternal Rest, well, to be honest, I'm going to be a little annoyed if this is supposed to be the response for Noble Knights, because if that's the argument, then it's a stupid argument. Because 9 times out of 10, the equipped spell card they usually have right off the bat is going to be Destiny, and Destiny already protects their destruction once. So you're going to have to be able to normal summon and attack. So yes, you can Eternal Rest, summon a monster, attack over, but again, 9 times out of 10, they already have Glory set on the field, or they're going to have some disruption card to where you're like Econ or Super Rush. So it's like you try to attack and then you fail, and then they switch to attack mode and they run you over. So I don't see the point. I'd probably recommend Dark Core over Eternal Rest, but at the same time, I also have to imagine with the Tag Duel tournament coming up, and this card being able to destroy monsters with equips cards, I have to think that there's going to be either 1 or 2 characters during that event that will be using equip cards, that you could draw this card and then activate it and then clear their board out, and then just win like that. I believe during the last Tag Duel tournament, Joey was using Gearfried, which uses equipped spell cards, but at the same time, Warrior Elimination does the exact same thing, so I'm not sure if that's like, again, that would be like already having 5 copies of a single card to counter 1 deck, which would be a little overkill, but I don't know, that's kind of just the first thing I think of. Maybe it's supposed to be for a completely other reason, I'm not sure. But other than that, Day 9 has the Elemental Duels, and if you're having a tough time for this, if you go into your profile settings, you'll be able to look at all the items you own, and if you don't have enough items of a certain type that's up here, you can simply pick, if you're not sure which one to pick, you can simply pick from whatever you have the least of. I know personally that there's a lot of Earth monsters that do drop from cards, do drop from regular standard duels. So the Earth jewels here might not be as valuable as, say, the Light or Dark, but whichever one is your personal preference, there isn't actually a right answer here, but it's kind of interesting to think about which one anyone might go with. And as for Day 10 is always the most difficult choice, but which I always joke about, but at the same time, I kind of have to wonder if they'll ever change up Day 10. Like, instead of, like, all super rares, why not have, like, 10 glossy rare tickets, 2 super rare tickets, and then a glossy super rare ticket? Like, I think that would be very interesting to see what people go with. But that's just kind of my opinion. What do you think about this event? Do you like some of the picks in this choice? Do you kind of not like some things? And is there any decks that these cards specifically, that you can think of that these cards can use and that I haven't mentioned? Let me know in the comments, and, well, have a good day.